Hello, hello. We are back. So, I hope that today is gonna be a shorter stream than the one we did yesterday. Because I was planning on making like a 15-minute one, but then with the paint accident, it ended up being like 3.5 hours. So I hope the music now is at a normal volume. I didn't change anything again, so I hope it is actually good this time. There we go. Okay, so what are we going to do today? We are gonna be swapping the PCB that I have on this Realforce. Let's pull out the magical manual focus. There we go. So we are gonna be swapping out again the PCB from this Realforce. And I think it still has the like prototype red unit that I have made like a couple of months ago, probably more than that actually. And the plan is to replace the PCB on the Realforce, the 10th anniversary one. So, for those of you that don't know, the 10th anniversary that I have uses PS2. It actually works by itself, and I have a converter that I made with Q&K, but I don't really like the fact that I have to use a converter. So we're gonna do a bit of swappery magic, changing the cable and the PCB from this unit to this one, and we are gonna basically make like a FACO Winkeyless 91U. Hello Densus, show some love to Densus in chat. That is basically submerged in Alios boards and shipping boxes. F in chat. So what I think we can do is either tear down this one first and then this one, or vice versa. So I guess probably what we can do is tear down the other board. That way I can flash the new firmware too. Even though I think I already flashed the new one, but I'm not really sure. And I have my bento to store everything. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. And yes, it's one of the prototypes, the red units. We're gonna remove the plate screw. There we go. We're gonna unplug the cable. There we go. We lift the entire assembly. And remember, since this is a USB based PCB, we'll need to actually transplant the cable too. So we will remove the ferrite bead clipping, unclip the wire, and then we can slide out the wire from the case. So we're gonna set this one aside. And start to actually pull out parts. Yeah, Realforce disassembly is fairly straightforward, so there's nothing really that bad. Now, if you mean being sleep deprived and cutting yourself every time you use a hex knife, I'm not sure about that. Not really worth it. And again, the bot is still dead, of course, because why not? Why would it be fully working, you know? To be honest, I think I'll swap CloudBot for like Nightbot or whatever the other option is. It's literally just to have like a link command. That's basically it. That's the only reason. I don't want to update the like project command because I know I can update it through chat with like the slash commands, but again, I don't stream it long enough to know the commands, so yeah. So usually what I do is either I am super cheap and I am not sure that the project will actually like work at all, so I prefer to spend a little bit less in prototypes and have the green version, or if I'm fairly confident that it's gonna work fine, I'll be ordering PCBs in red, and red is basically like the distinguishing color for the prototypes. And usually people get confused when I say prototype, because usually they think they are like whatever test run, let's say. But usually when I order PCB prototypes, I'm basically 99.9% done with the design. So at the end of the day, what you see in the red units is basically what you receive in the group buys. So yeah. So let's see, yeah, if after like 6 months we still have, we have a screw left, if the dome sheet will actually stick. Thank you Mano KBDs for the follow. So we lift, and this is, you can see it's a very sussy build, like unsilenced alphas, with the exception of the ISO enter and then like purple sliders. for the links, we don't have the bot working. The bot is dead basically since forever. So I think there's the link tree. Let me grab a keyboard. There's a link tree with basically all the links, and that is what the command should point to. So let me find it. There we go. I posted it in chat. So over there you'll see the first result is my website for like commissions and show off of some projects. I need to update the gallery with the new projects. I was working on that today. Then there's my GitHub page, my Discord server link, and then my Twitter, my Instagram, and the channel you're watching right now. I think we actually have a winner. Oh yes. This is a win. Oh, we've lost one. Okay, it's still one. I call it a success. That's an absolute win, you know. And now, there's the best part. We mute the music. Yep. Love that. Love that. This is pure gold. There we go. So this is from the 91U. We're gonna put that to the side. As well as the PCB. There we go. And we can now come back to this one. Okay. The opening procedure is still the same. There we go. so here we need to be a little bit more careful because there's no opening on the PCB and the connector is right up against the PCB. There we go. We have removed this one, so now we can pull off the cable from this case because this PCB will go in the other case. So we can move that, we can move this one to the side. And you can really tell that this is one of the earlier version of the PCBs. They are using way more for the focus, please. Way more deep packaged components that are very, very in style with early versions of this PCB, especially the CPU in this package. The component choice is basically the same, and I really like that. Very nice. We lack the debug port. We have the same TP1684 IC that we usually see in Dover designs. And then we have the usual muxes and buffers. The usual stuff. This is one of the more glossy PCBs. You can tell because of the shininess of the PCB. In person is a very deep green, and it kind of shows in the stream too, but not really as much as in real life. Procedure is basically the same. There are some variations, even in JIS boards, on screw positions. Not that much, so like not complete redesign, but some of them have slight offset in some positions. And when you go from one layout to the other, you find some design choices to be mandatory for multi-layout support. For example, on the split backspace, you have a single screw hole in between the two positions. Of course, if you were to design a PCB that have multi-layout for split and unified, you'll need to sacrifice one of the two. Because you can't have a screw hole right in the middle of a pad. Oh, there's a screw here. I think we removed them all. So now we can lift the plate assembly. And you'll see that this is a pure type S purple slider. And this is a 30-gram dome sheet. So for this one, we actually want to maintain the position of these domes. Okay. I don't really care, to be honest, about which spring went where. So, oh, let's mute the music and see if this dome sheet does the trick. Nice. You gotta be careful when you do this, because some springs like to stick to the dome sheet. So if you're not careful enough, you'll basically yeet the entire spring either on the floor, or you're never gonna find it ever again. Yes, it is indeed a new ASMR. Okay. Someone please send a link to the meme, the astronauts meme. Okay, you can see there's some spillage. Oh, this is very bad. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I can bring it down. The copper on the shield pad seems to be oxidized. You'll see here on the back how it should look. On the front is darker. The center ring is not oxidized. This is oxidized. Oh well.
Hello there.
Thank you for the follow. Let's go back to exposure compensation 0. Is autofocus working? Yes. Okay, so what I will do is just clean up the PCB real quick. That way, whatever residue is on the PCB.
And you can sit down and talk to me about it. And that's beautiful. I'm glad that you're
We can remove it.
hope you get the right stuff out of it for people.
Okay, so I think I'll put aside this. Actually, yeah, I can put aside this one. We can bring back the old / new PCB. Clean this one too. And while it's outside, I will actually flash it with the new firmware. So to do that, I'll connect the cable. So we short the both 0 pins. And we bring up Q&K toolbox. I think we need to download the firmware though, so what I'll actually do is bring the live view. So there's a little bit of a preview of what I've been working on today. So on the website, on my website, now, other than the portfolio, like commission forms and etc., I have a resource tab. One is for the guides. So one redirects you to the compatibility list for the various PCBs. One is the easy PCB calibration tutorial that I'll do again once we complete the build, where I basically explain what you need to do the calibration. Then there's the firmware tab, one for the firmwares that are merged into VIA, and one for the side load. The side load is the one that we're going to be using. And then we have models and assemblies, and here you're gonna find 3D models, plates, and etc. for, as of now, the ECTKO F12 version, the EC60 that will get a revision soon, and the EC660C and the relative dot word. So for firmwares, we're going to do sideload. Now we are here and we go and find Realforce. Realforce, we download both the binary and the JSON file, and we're gonna be pulling up VIA already. We're gonna be loading the JSON. There we go. We can close this for now. What we care about is actually the firmware file. It's this one. So let's short the boot 0 pins. I'm gonna remove the cable, plug it in again. The board is in DFU mode now. And we can hit flash. Okay, the board is flashed. I can remove the cable. We can go back to the live view only. Mic is kind of low. Let's see. I can turn down the music. Is the mic by itself good though? Because if the mic is good, I'm gonna just change the music. Okay, mic is low. Let's see. Okay, so the audio input is the audio input capture. So it's this one. So it's at -4. Let's go to minus 9.4. What about now? Is this better? Is this worse? If this is good, I think, yeah, it should go to everything. Yeah. So I basically raised, lowered the filter on the mic, and I lowered a little bit the music on the source. Okay. So now, what we need to do is take this. We're gonna put on the dome sheet. I'm gonna check if I have the boxes to raise this. There we go. I need to 3D print the support. Like I really need to print those. I mean, this is good still. But I need to take something more consistent. Also, a super sus thing that I just noticed. I never opened this board before, but look at this. Topre? Hello? Huh? What is this? Hello? Am I getting cucked by Topre? Like, that cut is worth of... Oof. Yeah, someone had a rough day at the Topre factory. A very, very rough day. Yeah, that's like MX dude tries Topre for the first time and oh, I can mod this? That's the vibe. There we go. Oh. We are speeding through this. Crazy. Nothing happened yet. Can you imagine that? Is stream going to plan? Nah. It's actually very good, I gotta say. It's not as scuffed as I thought, and unironically, I think you tapped the screw holes after, or the screws actually gripped pretty okay on the plate, so that's my main concern. I can't really tell if the opening for Andrea's logo does anything to the sound profile of the spacebar, because the MKS spacebar is so loud by itself, like it literally just rocks plastic on plastic because of the different stem and slider. But other than that, very cool. Very cool. No springs were lost. Also, good thing about the bento, you can use it to mass align springs, roughly. You should still go through it. Less mounting points. I mean, the only real difference between the Pro 2 and the Pro 3 is the center, like the extra center screw hole right on top of the spacebar. But that is not really critical. Okay, that's pretty much aligned. Oh, last plate case screw point. I mean, I could technically just not screw in uh, the case screws to the plate, but then I will probably lose them, so I don't like that. Okay, so in the last stream, I suggested to use the screwdriver as basically a hovering device. On the Realforce, it's not really necessary. Since you build it on a open bench, basically, you can literally just use your fingers here to basically align it. With multi-layout boards, it's a little bit more difficult because you don't have the main reference points for all the screws. So just know that this screws is this one, and then this one is this one, and you're basically done. You can actually use the metal, the shiny part of the metal in the pillars to guide you, basically. So this one is aligned. This one is aligned too. So we drop. Then right after that, silver screws, because those actually keep the distance. And a thing that I noticed, that was an oversight actually. It was an oversight, and also me not realizing how much. Oh, I'm gonna move the mic. How much the PCBs will actually like be popular is that I don't have a distinguishing mark for silver screws and black screws. So you basically count on looking through the hole to know where the silver pillars are. So yeah, that was an oversight. I mean, it's not really a major one, so. Sorry for the head. So we have an extra silver screw. And I'm trying to find where it goes. Okay, so let's first of all screw in all the way the ones that we have. So I completely forgot where the other pillar is. It's not this one.
Hello there.
Thank you for the follow. Okay, so now the screws are all in place. We can start to investigate where that screw goes. Because of course I forgot to take pictures, because why would I? Actually, I can just look at the front of the PCB. So there's a pillar right there. Another one is there, another one is there. One was on the top. 9 and 0. Is it? No, this is a normal screw hole. You know what? We can just start to go at the ones that we know are actually screw positions for the black ones. Because there are some screws that will inevitably be left out. So for example, one black screw here will not actually be populated. Oh wait, no. That's rubber. Is the screw correct? Yes. Oof. That was bad. So this is not a screw hole. This is. Okay, so there's an extra black one. So this black one is this one, for sure. Now we have a silver one that either it's under one of the alternative layouts positions. We have the silver one there. This one is not actually used. One here is not used. I think that's it. I have no more screw positions that actually make sense. This is right in the middle of a 2U. This is not real. Have this one, but here we don't have screw holes. I remember some key positions not having, for real, a screw hole. Actually, let me check in my pictures of the first prototype. Silver, silver, silver. Nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. Silver and silver, silver. Nothing here, silver. Another silver, silver. Yeah. So something is under the PCB, so we can't really reach it. Oh well. Okay. So stabilizer keys are still good. Everything feels okay. Very nice. Okay, so now we can rebuild the 10th anniversary one with the different cable. So we'll bring out this one. We'll try to match the position here. Then we have the actually, in this case we don't need we don't need this. No, we actually do. This is for USB. So we place it here. We will try to have this one straight. Thank you, John Bowman, for the follow. Okay. So it sits perfectly. This one is flying, so since this is actually connected to ground, we want to cover that in some way. So we're gonna be using painter's tape because I can't find electrical tape. we go. We wrap it, we press it, and we jam it down there. Okay, so now we connect this. So it fits pretty good. We're gonna take the top, put it in at an angle, then press. It is equal distance. Properly closed. Okay, so now we can start the calibration. So to do that, we are gonna swap let me connect the keyboard again. Okay, it's plugged in. So we are in VIA, we flashed new firmware. We click authorize. Realforce correctly labeled, so split backface, yes. Split left shift, no. Right shift, yes. ISO, yes. JS wing keyless, yes. So now we go into here, we actually turn off the underglow because we don't have it. We go in calibration, bottom in calibration, and we press all the keys. Okay, so now we can test this. No, I get the fuck out. I don't want your shit. Delete. And then ban. Copy slash ban. It's even musical. Your ban is musical. Would you look at that? There we go. You're gone. Be gone. There we go. Perfect. One thing to change. Caps lock, get out of here. Left control. Yes. Then here we add, where is it? Caps lock. Caps lock. Then media. Down, up, mute. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so this board is now done. Nice. So now we can focus on the other one. PCB. I have the plate and dome sheet. So we hook this up. I'll actually here, where is it? There you go. There we go. Okay. And we do it all over again. How do the bots even find like people's stream? Are they like searching forever for like sub 50 viewers? And they just join chat? Condition screws from the plate side. I mean, to be honest, if the plate is metal, just use the normal assembly. Like it's tested, it works well, so there's no need to reinvent the wheel for that. And the issue with the countersunk is that you need very specific dimensions, and if your like angle for the cone of the spring is too wide, you'll end up with a bigger than expected countersunk needed on the plate. And that creates a whole lot of an issue because the distance, like the actual, like let's say thickness, even though it's not the thickness, it's like the width of the rail per se, you'll end up either cutting away part of it if the angle of the cone is too wide, or you'll end up basically just incentivizing people to use whatever screw they have, and not all the cone screws are the same. So if you need to use screws, I advise just to use the flat ones. They're a little bit harder to find, so it's not like in all the all regions you can buy it off of Amazon, for example. But it's still better in my opinion. Coffee break? We did it. No screws were lost in the making of this stream. Crazy, I know. Oh yeah, like for the most part they work fine. But you know how you find some screws that are like perfect and you think that every single like common screw of that type is exactly the same, and then you realize that for whatever reason you had this special one. that's that's the majority of the times that I thought of having the universal solution to one mechanical issue, and then I realized that it wasn't actually a solution, like at all. Thank you for the follow. Okay, I think they are pretty much all aligned. I'll check from the side. Yes, everything is aligned. So we're gonna be dropping this onto here. Sorry for the hat again, but I want to be sure that I don't mess this up. There we go. Perfect to drop in. So we swapped the prototype RF-R1, the red unit that I had in the 91U that I got, onto the 10th anniversary, the 89U, and now we are basically swapping the PCBs. The fact that I see a Noxery logo that is sus by itself, Bogus. That is what is sus in that. There we go. JIS TKL indeed. Oh, this is so blacked out. The fact that it's unsilenced in the alphas. Oh. And then the F-row and the nav cluster that is silenced for no particular reason. Okay, so new cable and the bottom case. So we're gonna take this, do this, then break out the cable. Straight out. And then this is more trick. It needs more work to actually plug it in than the other ones. Let's align it. There we go. Oh, this is very close. This is super close. I need to bend this just a little bit. Oof. Just a little bit. So I don't think we are gonna be actually able to store this screw here, unless we want a rattly screw. Did the cable have the grounding? Let me check. So the cable has five conductors. Five conductors. So we can actually bring out the capacitor and multimeter. Adjunct to my beloved. I also have the benchtop one, but I didn't have the chance to actually hook up the serial interface to show it on stream. So we're gonna YOLO it. So FG so it's the pin number 5. Pin number 5 is the black wire. Green one should be ground, like normal ground. Are they coupled? No, they are not directly coupled. But they are coupled through some kind of filters. Yeah, the grounding wire is integrated. The grounding connection, to be more precise. we still have continuity between the plate and the shield. So if I were to take this, .3 ohm, yeah, good enough. Okay, top case. At an angle. And we are done. So now I'm reattaching the cables to my other multimeter. Okay. So we can now bring back whatever I had before. Okay, so to test this, we're gonna be using instead the buyout converter that I have. So let's bring out the live view. Okay, so I'll first connect this to the converter and then the converter to the PC. I hope it's still flashed. Yes. Okay, layout. Let's keep it full because I don't remember the actual mapping. Okay, so keyboard away. So this is swapped because in the ASCII I had that one on the bottom. So yeah, some key positions are not correct. The simple fact that they actuate is good enough for me, and that is what I'm looking for. Okay. So you see, for example, the option key is what the N key should be, and vice versa. It is what it is. But you'll see that whatever I'm actually trying to actuate gets actuated. So you see that they share the same Q and K key code. They're not actually the same. Okay. So this board is now fully working too. Let's do a bit of a cleanup. There we go. And I'm gonna put this away. Okay. So this is done. Oh, what is going on here? Okay, so one thing that I can probably show, I already showed it though, so it's more of a, hey, there's that again, is the website. So on my website, there's the usual stuff going on. The portfolio, I'm gonna update it. Now there are resources. First of all, the guides. One is the Notion webpage for the ECPCB compatibility list, where we basically go over which PCB is compatible with which case, either OEM or aftermarket. So for example here we have the Pro 2 is compatible with this and that, Pro X, this is what the layout support looks like, and this is the table for compatibility. So this is one of them. The other one is actually a video that I recorded today. I think it's unlisted on YouTube. And basically I go over basically the procedure that I told you guys right now. So what the procedure looks like, why we do it, the fact that you need to have the PCB fully built, you have to select your layout, and then you need to do the bottoming calibration procedure. That's pretty much it. And this is valid not only for the Theka, so I showed it off with the Theka, but it's valid for basically whatever PCB you're gonna be using that supports the calibration. If you want to know which PCB supports the calibration, you can just go into the firmware section. There's the main merged via and no links, unfortunately. Let me share it, because again the bot is not working. Not a great news. And the website is the first tab. So the first one is whatever VIA recognizes right now, and it's what the PCBs ship with. If you want to have the new features, you need to download the sideload version of the firmware. It brings you to a whole lot of PCBs. Some of them from my main personal projects, so like the Pro 2, the EC60, the numpad, and etc. But also others like the Theka, the Type B, the Raita micropad, the Albios. So if you're waiting for the Albios, it will ship with the compatible firmware that is merged in VIA. But if you want to have the latest features, you might want to download the new one if it loads. There we go. So every folder in here has a binary file and a JSON file. The JSON needs to be uploaded in the design tab in VIA because again, not being merged, auto detection is not available, and also they use separate PIDs and VIDs because otherwise VIA would point to the older version. So even if you have, for example, two Thekas, let's say, and one is with the merged firmware and one is with the newer one, they will not conflict with one another because they have two different USB PID and VID. Then, other than the firmware, we have the modules section and assemblies. That's basically like a repurposed version of what I have in my server. The only thing is that now it's basically more accessible directly on the website. I did it right after I saw McLovin sharing the Albius firmware stuff, and I realized that, I mean, basically no one knows about this website other than like the 10 people that DM'd me about commission there. But yeah, I thought that it would look nice to have them all in one place. So, for example, in the EC TKL, I have drawings for the plates. So, for example, JS wing keyless, it's very small. So, this is again a very bare bone PCB and plate. So, it's literally just to say, hey, this is where the screws are, and the plate should be 1.2 millimeters. That's literally it. If you want to use the assemblies, I have made no USB-C and snappable USB-C assemblies, and you're gonna find a whole lot of versions with pre-configured layouts. So for example, 7U, ANSI, 6.25 and JIS, so like the popular layouts. And same goes for the EC60. This one is hosted on GitHub because that is open source for now. So same thing, assembly with plates and popular layouts. And then for the EC60, for the EC660, I have both the main board and the daughter board models. The daughter board is modeled after the Dave one, because I think it's a great daughter board. It's very fun. And this is again in a Google Drive because it's not on GitHub yet. One thing to notice is that on this configuration for the EC60 and the ECTKL, I have different models for the various layout options. On the EC660C, I have every single supported layout in one single model. So you'll see, for example, here there are the ANSI and the ISO keys all at once here. Same for the alternative bottom rows, stepped caps lock. That is simple because it's more easily be transportable between various platforms. So yeah, that's basically it. In the portfolio, for personal boards, I don't think I need to add anything. I really didn't do much personal. One thing, I definitely need to update the commission. The commission section needs to be updated quite a bit. For example, for the Albius, I need to update the PCB with the final one, which is a red unit. For the Theka, I need to update it too because this was the prototype, and now we have like the final version. So then, what I need to add, I need to update the Lilium with like the latest versions. Also add the Type K PCB that we are gonna be using. So yeah, there's quite a bit here that I need to add. It has been a while since I actually added stuff. Why so large? Okay, so the decision for the Pro 3 to be so large was simply because I wanted to replicate the controller as close as possible to the OEM one so that I can add stuff later. But if we take a look at it, I think I have a picture of the controller too. Yes, so the Pro 3. So if you remember, they use black screws that go through the plastic here, here, and here. And then they have alignment pillars, plastic ones, here and here. So what you can do is cut away the PCB here, go like this, then this, and do this. So you basically have only this section. You could probably, actually you can. I wasn't really sure that I wanted to put that much stress on the connector. You could place this JST like here and only have this section. You still need one screw, but I would prefer to have another point of contact just in case. But yeah, the main reason was to match the OEM one. Mainly. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. There's nothing more to talk about. We don't have Apple events to watch. What do we have? I can't really look at Twitter because I have saucy Twitter right now. It's all in Japanese, and you know how it is when you have stuff in Japanese. You'll find VTuber and stuff, so I'll get demonetized or even blocked. We already talked about the patent for the Norbauer stuff. So yeah, I think that's really not much else to talk about. Unironically, this stream is actually the perfect length that I want it to be. Nothing happened. Crazy. So yeah, I think we can start to say if there's someone. How can I exit this? Twitch.tv. Oh, mouse? Calipers? Oh, it's not me to tell you. Goddamn. Let's search keyboards. Okay, so this is me. Tyler Keyboard Live. Oh, so we're watching Japan walkthrough. I don't know, Jason, do you have someone that is live right now that you know it actually streams? Because I gotta be honest, I don't follow anyone, so. Oh, Ergo stuff. Okay, we're gonna raid. So /raid, and the raid message is Topre Thok. Just because. Yeah. So thank you everyone who joined. I'm not sure when we will be streaming again. I've basically emptied any option. I was planning to do like an HG build, but unfortunately the HG isn't gonna show up anytime soon. I'm not even sure if I can get my hands on an Albius before the meetup. So unless something crazy comes up, I have no idea when I'll be streaming again. So yeah. So we're gonna raid. Again, the raid message is Tobe Thok. And thank you everyone who joined, and have a good one. See ya. Oh, hello.